In 2022, a man was arrested in Miami with $2 million in cash in his trunk. The money was traceable. He was convicted. But that same week, another $800 billion crossed borders digitally, and nobody got arrested. Why? Because money laundering isn't about hiding cash. It's about making dirty money look clean before anyone thinks to ask where it came from. Most people picture money laundering as pizza boxes and duffel bags full of bills. But the concept is simple. You have money that came from an illegal source. If you spend it directly, authorities can trace it. So you run that money through a series of legitimate-looking transactions until, at the end, it appears to come from a normal business. The process has three classic stages. Placement. You introduce the dirty money into the financial system. Layering. You move that money through multiple layers until the trail disappears. Integration. The money comes back to you with a clean story attached. The oldest trick in the book, you open a laundromat, or a pizza place, or a parking lot, any cash-heavy business. Then you mix the dirty money with the legitimate revenue and declare everything as profit. The name became famous because of Al Capone. He literally owned laundromats. That's where the term money laundering comes from. But this method has a problem. It doesn't scale well. If your pizza shop is reporting $4 million a month in revenue, the tax authority is going to ask how many pizzas you're actually selling. This is where modern methods come in. Here's the method preferred by people moving serious volume. You create a shell company, an LLC in Delaware, a holding in the Cayman Islands, a company in Dubai. That company buys a luxury apartment in Miami for $3 million. In cash, no mortgage. A few years later, you sell the apartment for $3.5 million. You just turned $3 million in dirty money into $3.5 million clean, and you even paid tax on the $500,000 profit to look legitimate. The cost of laundering? $500,000 and a few years of patience. And here's the problem. In many countries, including the US until recently, buying real estate through anonymous companies was perfectly legal. Nobody had to disclose who the actual owner was. To understand industrial-scale laundering, you need to understand tax havens. They're not exotic islands where criminals store suitcases of cash. They're countries and territories with three key features: very low or zero taxes, extremely strong banking secrecy laws, and anonymous corporate structures. The biggest ones: the Cayman Islands, Luxembourg, Switzerland, Delaware in the US, yes, an American state, and Dubai. In 2021, the Panama Papers and Pandora Papers revealed how presidents, kings, and billionaires worldwide were using these structures legally. Money would pass through 5, 10, 15 different companies in different countries until it became completely unrecognizable. Money laundering isn't about bags and basements. It's about legal structures, strategic jurisdictions, and loopholes that were put there on purpose. Dirty money and clean money flow through the same system. The only difference is that one of them has a good enough story to avoid being questioned. The IMF estimates that between $800 billion and $2 trillion is laundered globally every year. Less than 1% is ever detected. Why? Because the countries that benefit most from dirty money are the same ones writing the rules. Banks that facilitate these transactions pay billion-dollar fines and keep operating. HSBC paid $1.9 billion in fines in 2012 for laundering cartel money. By 2019, it was back to record profits. This isn't a technical problem. It's a political one. Laundered money funds elections, buys real estate that props up entire markets, and employs legitimate lawyers, accountants, and bankers. The incentive to look the other way is enormous. Money laundering isn't about bags and basements. It's about legal structures, strategic jurisdictions, and loopholes that were put there on purpose. Dirty money and clean money flow through the same system. The only difference is that one of them has a good enough story to avoid being questioned.